Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue, the site of the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live here on SHN Sports. Thanks to Pok-e-Jo's for having us out and hosting, giving us a room to have the show in tonight. Coach Vieira will be on board here in just a second. And then three players we get to visit with tonight: Nolan Jondel, Ty Klaus Keismore, get that right, and then Mr. Reese Bell, the big first baseman for your Eagles. Whittier, Alaska is the name of the town. So another conversation Coach Vieira and I were having about Alaska. But we're here tonight. Last week we missed. We played a Thursday night game against Eastview as we took the Easter break, and what a game that was as the Eagles opened it up there in the sixth inning for the 14-1 win against the crosstown rivals, the Eastview Patriots, the Crosstown Classic, as it was named this year. 2-0 for your Eagles, two convincing wins against the Eastview Patriots. And so bragging rights for the Eagles inter-district on the year. But a lot has gone on in the 2 weeks we haven't been here. A lot of games. The last one that leaves a sour taste in our mouth is the loss to Leander just the other night, but a big game tomorrow night to turn it around and get back on the winning way as we will be on the road to face the Rouse Raiders. Live on SHN. We'll have it at 6:45 on the pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. And so thanks so much for coming out tonight and enjoying with us. We're going to take a short break, and we'll spend more time talking to Coach Vieira at the outstart because Kelly's out of town back in Florida, and Doppler Dave, my other sidekick, is back in the firehouse serving our community tonight. So stay with us. We'll be right back with head coach Jordan Vieira live here on the Eagle Nation Baseball Coaches Show live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Special thanks to the Georgetown Eagle Band for Wonga Boom and the fight song that they provide for us. But more importantly, back here live at Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue, Georgetown, Texas, the host of the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. And joining me now, head coach Jordan Vieira. It's like that slide up there. It looks so good. For those that are watching online, get to see your pretty picture there.
Kelly. I don't know if I'd classify that as pretty. The extra chin on it doesn't really do it justice.
But we're back here. Finally, we get a Thursday night back in the house. To catch up on baseball in the state of Georgetown baseball. What seemed to be separation occurring in District 25-5A has now become the cluster effect again as Leander gets the upset and tops us on Tuesday night. But then Cedar Park was kind of set to be their own in the leader's seat. And then A.J. Click, the catcher for the Glen Grizzlies, hits a walk-off home run to pull that upset. And now a four-way tie for first place in District 25. 8-3, so you still don't want to lose, but you couldn't ask for anything better to occur to keep that cluster together to let this Eagle team continue to fight for that district championship.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to what we keep talking about week after week, right, is that there's 8 teams in this league, and all of them can compete, and at any given night, anybody can give you a run for your money and give you an opportunity to struggle or to get beat. We've seen it multiple times with Glenn knocking off Cedar Park. We've seen it with Marble Falls competing quite a bit. We've seen it with us and Leander going at it, and a couple of teams giving Rouse a run for their money. So every night like we keep saying, there's 8 teams that are going to be really competitive, and so got to show up ready to rock and roll.
The one thing that we were just talking about that kind of sticks out here for the fight for district to make the playoffs, 4 teams will go. Leander sits in that vital spot. One more loss, and they eliminate themselves. They play Liberty Hill tomorrow night. So a big game for Leander if they want to choose to continue fighting. I talked to their broadcast team the other night at the Eagle Field, and they just said, the night against Cedar Park when they got run-rolled and against Rouse when they were run-rolled, and then when they lost to Marble Falls, he said it's just like we're in a second-half slide, and the wheel for these kids is just depleted. And he said it doesn't make sense. But then they turn around, and, of course, they saw the target on the uniform across the way at the third base dugout, and then play a good baseball game. Yeah. It wasn't pretty all the way around. And if you say that, there was errors on both sides, but a good baseball game.
Right.
And Leander came out fighting.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. The Capers kid that threw against us is one of the better arms in the league, and he was able to attack his locations and fill up his spots and make pitches when he needed to, and get our guys to chase in some big spots. And we just didn't get the big hit at the right time when we needed to. But hats off to those guys. Those guys did a really good job 2 times against us, and have been there. And we got our work cut out for us in the next 3. So we're excited about what we got going. Our guys have been working hard for the past couple of days preparing for tomorrow night. And so excited to see what happens over with the Rouse Raiders.
A few games occurred since the last time we were here. We took on Cedar Park at home, a wild game. The Eagles showed a lot of a fight. The grittiness we had talked about, that they just don't give up. And that was shown there in that Cedar Park game. They come back and win a big one, 9-8, to put themselves right up there in the top of the district with Cedar Park. Mm-hmm. Talk about that win as we go back and kind of chronicle some of these games that we skipped over.
Yeah, so that was another game where we end up trailing early and end up coming back and scratching a couple runs, and then just continue to tack on run after run to put yourself back in the middle of it. And then there at the end, being able to create a little havoc on the bases in a first and third situation to force those guys to play catch. And then with that added pressure, you get the balk that comes later for that final run, which was the testament to what our guys were able to do on the bases. But, again, that was another gritty win. Wasn't pretty by any stretch. But, again, our guys aren't ever going to quit. It's something that these guys have hung their hat on repeatedly, is just getting after it and never backing down.
Walk us through that. That's one thing that stuck out about the Cedar Park game. 3 or 4 times a balk was called.
Yep.
And it didn't look like your normal balk where someone had come set, they turned their head, their shoulders, but a kind of a modified position, but it was called. Yep. And the most important one ended up being the winning run.
Right. So the NFHS, the National Federation of High School rules that we play by, are a little bit different than official baseball rules. One rule of emphasis that they've put in the past couple of years is if you're starting in the windup, both feet have to be even with the rubber so that they can differentiate between a windup and a stretch. So you don't have people that are starting in what looks like a windup, being able to slide step and kick from there. So that's one thing that's been harped on pretty big for the past couple of years, and the umpires that we typically have in the Syntax chapter do a pretty good job of enforcing that. It's bit us in the butt a couple times, but those guys they enforce it. So it ended up being that was 2 of the illegal pitches, quote unquote, that turned into a balk with runners on base, and then I believe one of them he just didn't come set. And rushed through it real quick and called them on a balk to advance some runners. So it's a rule that we get to play with.
And we'll take it. That was a big win.
No doubt.
One that seemed like you could just see the momentum throughout that game as Georgetown got down, but then a couple of runs here, a couple of runs there.
Right.
And just fighting back in that. You saw the boys, the momentum switch. Kelly and I were talking about it. A foul ball was hit, and he talked to you about it after the game. A foul ball was hit into the net, and a couple of players got it right by the dugout. And the on-deck batter was kind of like, hey, hand it here. And they were just – you could tell they were lighthearted, like, hey, give me the ball. I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to get my hit, and I'm going to keep going. But they weren't uptight. No. There was not a stress there. And so it was good to see. And in that fight, it paid off in a victory. And then we had Leander on turnaround on Saturday. You're talking about, 12, 15 hours later, these boys come right back out and then put a big emphatic win over a Leander Glen Grizzly team, 13-1.
Yeah.
Walk us through that one.
Again, that was a game where – we ended up, I can't remember who pitched that one. You have to remind me.
Jacob Haddon.
Yeah, Haddon goes out and does a great job on the mound. We only give up 1 run. And then the bats come alive, and we're able to score a bunch of runs, take the walks when we needed to take our walks, then get the big hits when we needed to just continue to stack them on after run, play great defense behind it. And that's what you're supposed to do in those situations is continue to play point on baseball until the last out's made. And our guys did a really good job of doing that. Then turn around on that next Tuesday, and then play a tough Marble Falls team on that Tuesday.
Tell you what, that was a crazy night. And one thing back to that Glenn game, a couple of guys hit home runs, and we'll get to visit with both of those guys tonight, and Reese Bell and Ty Klaus Keismore, that were just fun to watch. But the response of those boys after a hard-fought game on a Friday night to turn around on a Saturday at 1 p.m. and then just go to work. Bottom of the first inning, top of the first inning, Jacob comes in and 3 up, 3 down. Shut Glenn down early, and then we go in, and Reese ends up hitting a 3-run home run, and it just didn't stop. And so that was great to see that they didn't take we won that one, now we could kind of let down. It's right. Glenn. They came out and just put it to Glenn and took that fight out of them really early. But then we go to Marble Falls, and the tornado night, right. We drove away from the storms, sat there, talked outside the locker room for the lightning delay, and then Marble Falls starts hot. At bottom of the first inning, they put up 3 runs, and a different look out of a Marble Falls team that you just don't know what to expect. And all of a sudden, they're up 3-0, and the fight's on.
Right, and again, that was a weird situation the way the whole thing shook out, because you have the weather delay that ends up pushing everything back as far as pregame stuff. The game starts 30 minutes late. Our guys are kind of out of their routine as far as hitting in the cage. We only got 15 minutes to hit in the cage, and then you have the showtime, the in and out that we take. Then the game starts, and it's on, and Marble Falls didn't skip a beat. Good for them. Come out swinging it early and tack on those 3 early, and then our guys are able to minimize after that and continue to claw back into it. I believe we get the big hit in the 6th to go up with Landon Heil gets the big 2-out hit. To put us up. So it was another night where our guys got knocked in the face early, got punched in the mouth early, and didn't go away, but continued to stay in the fight and continue to get big hit after big hit and stay in there, and defense continue to play well and get us out when we need to.
Our third guest tonight, guest player is going to join us, Nolan Jondel. Going back to that Marble Falls game, a job out of the bullpen. I can't compare it to anything else this year. He came in and threw three innings, I believe, of no-hit baseball. I apologize, 3 1/3 innings of no-hit baseball as I look back here at the book. And then I believe it was Scott Beam came in and pitched a great 7th inning as well. But that kind of relief out of the bullpen to allow your offense to keep working, right, knowing the defense has got it on lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, our pitching staff has done a great job out of the bullpen especially. We've gotten some pretty quality starts early. The guys that we're able to trust to hand the ball off to in the bullpen are coming in and attacking strike zones and getting ground balls and just allowing our defense to be able to collect outs. And so I believe that's the 3rd time where we've had relief guys that have come in and throw 3+ innings of no-hit baseball. So hats off to those guys. It's nice whenever you got guys like Nolan that you can hand the ball to and say, get after it, and let's see what happens.
And boy, did he. And that'll be fun to talk to Nolan here in a few minutes. About that performance, coming out of the bullpen in a situation in a tight ball game and just going to work and unwavered. Just a great performance, and can't wait to talk to him. And then we get a little break there, and then we get Georgetown Eastview 2 nights later. You know, a big break in the district as we got the break for Easter weekend. Yeah. We go over to Georgetown to Eastview at Patriot Park, and just a slow start to a game that just seemed kind of odd out of the box. But then that 6th inning was something to watch. The bats came alive. The team, no one lost during the game. The players played well, but just it was like we couldn't break away. Yeah. Until that 6th inning, and then it was, can we break away enough to end this in 6? Walk through that win over Eastview.
Yeah. So just start off slow. We kind of started out of the gates, not getting after it particularly well, taking pitches, just not doing stuff that we normally do. Had a couple mistakes on the bases that cost us a couple runs. And then I believe it was that 6th inning. It was still pretty tight. And I told Coach Payne, so you do something. So what I'm saying is not working, so you do something. And I believe he walked over and said, you're going to get a hit, and then you're going to get a hit, and then you're going to get a hit, and then you're going to get a hit, and walked through every guy that was in our lineup, said, you're going to get a hit, and we're going to score 10 runs right here. and then walked away, and our guys proceeded to go bang, 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 hang up 10, moving on. So it was good for our guys to be able to stay in the fight long enough to be able to get in the bullpen. Then we get in the bullpen, we get the walks, are able to take our walks when we need to, get the big hits when we need to, in that situation to put 10 on them in that 6th inning and continue to put it away. So.
And it's crazy. You look back at some of the stats of that game. You see, talk about some of your big hitters.
Yep.
We just weren't getting hits. We were fighting until we got to their bullpen. And I looked at it. It jumped out at me here. In that game, Reese Bell goes 0 for 2. But Reese Bell gets on base 3 times.
Right.
He walked 3 times. So 3 good at-bats and quality at-bats. And that's what this team seems to continually do is it may not be a big hit here or a big hit here, but it's getting on base. It's putting runners in position to score, for that next guy to step up and get that one hit like Landon got in Marble Falls. Just that opportunity. And it's one thing that these guys continually do. It may not be a great night at the plate, 3 for 4 or 4 for 5. It may be 0 for 2. But the on-base percentage is escalated with 3 big walks, 3 good at-bats where they saw pitches and got on base. And so that was good to see. And, once it got to that 6th inning, you could see the deflation of the Patriots and then Georgetown. The Eagles just kind of ran with that like, okay, we're done. We're done playing with you. And then we had to flip the page, unfortunately, and discuss Tuesday night. Leander Lions came in. It's one of those, we had the opportunity, we win the game. Leander's eliminated, and now we know the playoffs are kind of set for the rest of the district. Leander comes in and plays a good ball game after a 3-game skid, one being to Marble Falls. You kind of expect they could have given up, but they didn't. Capers pitched a good game. Yeah. What did we see different there after a 5-game win streak to come up short on a game like that?
I mean, just run across a really good arm, right? Dylan Capers gets up there and does a really good job of locating pitches where he wants to. Being able to get our guys to chase in big spots. Believe we got 8 strikeouts on the night. And so it was just one of those nights where he made big pitches. They made big plays when they needed to. And so it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I mean, they only had 4 hits. We had 2 hits. So it was just a really quality pitcher's duel. You get the really good start from Nick Silva. He goes out and throws really well. You got Wade Denton that comes in the back end. He throws really well. We're able to get guys in scoring position. And then just not able to cash those things in. And Dylan throwing really well, and Leander's defense playing well. So just one of those nights where the ball doesn't really bounce your way, and just doesn't happen.
I think one play we would be remiss if we don't talk about. Lucas Flores steps up, the third baseman. Yeah. And in the 6th inning, when it was tight and we had to have a shutdown, he ends up sending it was a 1-1 pitch, deep center field. And Andon Petty makes a read on that ball, gets turned around twice, and then lays out and makes this beautiful catch. It's just fun to watch the confidence. We talked to Andon a couple of weeks ago that these pitchers have in that defense, that they're going to go get those balls. Yeah. And so is that continued? Is that continued through at this point of the season that this defense, no matter who's out there, is going to step up and make that play?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be something that our pitchers are ever typically going to worry about. Our defense has done a really good job throughout the course of the season of making the plays when they need to, making the routine ones, and then you got guys that don't show flash leather every once in a while and do something really cool. Whether it's Logan laying out for balls, you got Andon Petty who's taking bad routes on getting crossed up over the wind and still able to track it down, or you got Landon Howell running into fences. I mean, our guys are going to continue to play quality defense, and their effort at no point on the defensive side has ever been something that's ever been questioned, and our pitchers are going to continue to trust those guys.
The next couple of games we have coming up tomorrow night at Rouse, it's a big game. I know they're going to want their revenge, a 12-inning ball game that was just a classic baseball game, instant classic, that we won in the bottom of the 12th. Play there tomorrow night, and then we have a Cedar Ridge game on Saturday at Cedar Ridge. What do we look at there? It's a team we don't normally see, 6A baseball team. What do we look at Saturday?
Yeah, so for us, we're looking at what it's going to look like to be able to flip from a Friday to a Saturday playoff situation, right? And that's why we try to schedule as many Saturday games as we can, especially late in the year to give our guys the ability to be able to play on a Friday, have a late night, still be able to get up early on a Saturday and still be able to compete. And so Cedar Ridge is a good baseball team. I believe they're in the thick of it, and they're 26-5A or 25-6A that they are in. And they're competitive. They have some guys that can play some quality baseball. I believe they got a kid that's going to A&M. And so I'm excited to see what our guys are able to do of flipping that around and get on the road and go play on Saturday. So we're going to throw some arms out there that we expect to have big innings for us in the playoffs. continue to have good at-bats from our normal guys.
The rest of our schedule is no walk in the park.
No.
We're at Rouse.
Yep.
Our last home game next Tuesday night. We get to honor our, I believe, 15 seniors and host Liberty Hill, a chance to avenge a loss earlier in the year, and then on the road to finish it up against Cedar Park. What does it look like from here out?
Yeah.
The players, we don't want them to stress. Is the pressure there, or is it hey, it's our time to go shine?
Yeah.
What's the message that you and Coach Payne send to these boys?
Yeah, so there's no such thing as a big game. It's just another game. And I think that's the overall message is we're just going to continue to play Georgetown baseball. We're going to continue to control what we can control, take care of what we can take care of. And the fact of the matter is there's not a game that doesn't matter from here on. Whether it's Rouse on Friday, Liberty Hill Tuesday, Cedar Park Friday, or the week after that, if you get in the playoffs and be able to make a run. I mean, every game from here on matters. So our guys are competitive right now. They're foaming at the mouth. They're ready to get after it and ready for the umpire to say play ball and go. So we're excited to see what that tells and what that takes care of. And like our message is every day is control what you control. The next 200 feet at a time, and that's all that you can take care of, right? You can't stress about Friday, can't stress about Saturday before you get there. You can't worry about the seventh inning before you play the first inning. So we're just going to worry about where we're at the moment. And right now at the moment, we gotta take care of Cedar or take care of Rouse on tomorrow.
So tomorrow night we'll be live here on SHN, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. On the road at Rouse, and then quick turnaround, 12:45 pregame on Saturday at Cedar Ridge over off of Gaddis School Road in Round Rock. So if you can join us, be there live, continue to support this team. It's fun to watch them. What Coach Vieira and Coach Payne just continually preach to these young men and how they respond is fun to watch. But an opportunity tomorrow night to kind of make some noise, to kind of separate themselves and continue to build towards the playoff run.
No doubt.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with one of our guests tonight. I'm not sure who it'll be, but we'll bring them to you in just a minute. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live here on SHN Sports from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue in Georgetown. We'll be right back. We're back here live at Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue for the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live on SHN Sports. And joined now I'll do it officially on the YouTube stream. Got the Eagle Baseball logo up with Ty Klaus Keismore. Make sure you pronounce that right when you speak to him, please. I've learned it, and I'm excited. I love talking to all the broadcasters from the other school. It's like, hey, don't screw this name up, please. It's Klaus Keismore. And then I'm just happy. I enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
Ty, you join us tonight. Man, it's a senior year to remember.
Yes,
But
sir.
take me back. I got to talk about what I call the tank. I love calling, and I'm so excited. I'm not going to lie. So I'm sitting here setting up tonight, and I hear the name Braylon from an adult that sat down, and I was like, I'm sorry, did you say Braylon? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I said, cool. I said, like, Pinnell? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, my gosh. So last year, I got to call my first home run, and it was against Leander, thank God. Goodness. And in the two-game Saturday set at Concordia to go to the state semifinals, and Braylon put a ball into the wood line, and it was so fun to call. And so today at work we were talking about it, and then I look up and Braylon's here. I'm nervous. I'm so sorry. My first home run call on SHN was Braylon's, and so that's become my signature call, the tank. And then Reese hits this 3-run tank in the first inning. I have to ask, did anyone clock your time around the base path after your home run in the second inning?
No, sir. It's probably pretty fast.
We had more fun talking about it because as soon as we said, oh my gosh, Ty Klaus Keismore hits a 2-run tank. Then we look up and it's like, holy crap, he's on third base. But it was so cool. One thing that we talked about on the air when we were broadcasting it, going through that, just super excited. We could only imagine how excited you were.
It was one of the happiest feelings ever.
Is that the first one?
Yes, sir. First one ever.
Wow. I thought what was cool, and we didn't talk about this. Kelly came down and talked to you after the game. But one thing we thought was really neat was the guy on base, when you hit the 2-run bomb, was the man that hit the 3-run bomb in the first inning. And it's almost like he had the opportunity to be like, yeah, that was cute. It was 2 runs. But he greeted you, but then you just blew past him. It's like helmet slap, woof, he's in the dugout. And it was so awesome. Is it just the excitement of that first bomb? Or
it was a lot of thoughts going through my head, and it was really exciting. And I just wanted to get back to my team. So
now, how does someone like you not go, hey, Coach, I'm one of your bomb hitters, and keep yourself from always swinging? Was that just a natural swing, and you just caught the pitch right and it got out? Or did you see something different and took a big hack?
No, sir. It was a normal swing. I just caught it right and line drive. I kind of tell if you watch the video. I ran around first base and didn't know, and just went out. And I make a joke every once in a while, like I'm a big hitter, let me swing for the fences. But we've talked before about not getting big and staying short and staying oppo throughout the field. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind.
And it's a thing that a lot of you guys on this team will do. Zach does that well. That pitch against Rouse when he went opposite field in the 12th inning, that you guys don't hesitate to go opposite field where the ball's pitched and take it where it's pitched. But then on something like that ball comes right down that left field line and just hops out of there. That game in total, 2 for 2, on base all 3 times, 2 RBIs, scored 2 runs. How does that feel as a senior and trying to be one of the leaders of this team when you have a senior-heavy team? How does that feel in having a game like that? Is that a pick-me-up for you to continue on? Is it a pick-me-up to say, hey, take one down, pass it around, the next guy up, let's go, hit your base hit, let's do this? How does that guide you?
Yes, sir. It definitely builds confidence in me, and I think it builds confidence in the team as well. Every time I see my teammate get a hit, I get more confident walking up to the plate, like, okay, he can get a hit, so I can get a hit. Like, we can all get hits.
In that game against Glenn, y'all passed them around like crazy. It was beautiful to watch. And then turn around. You're called upon in the first inning against the second inning against Marble Falls. Leadoff batter gets on base. You turn around. You can hit bombs. We know that. We've seen it. We witnessed it the game before. Then coach says, hey, give me the old sack bunt. Is that, hey, whatever coach says, it's for this team? What's the mindset then when you go, man, I know I'm a base hitter. I can get on base. I can use my speed. I'm laying it down to move the runner up.
Yes, sir. So we've talked, and it's for the team, and you're trying to get that runner over in scoring position. So if no outs, that's a very good sack bunt. So
and it worked. It worked. Landon Iowa ended up coming around and scoring, led to 2 runs there in the inning. But walk through that as a senior at this point in your career, as the season we're getting towards that finish line of the regular season and looking towards the playoffs. Is it, hey, anything for this team? My teammates are the most important. It's not about me. Is that the attitude of the entire team now?
Oh, yes, sir. I definitely think that's the entire team. I mean, if you ask any one of us, we'll put a sack button down if we need to. If he gives the sign, we're putting it down. We're not there's no selfishness in the team. So
now, playing left field the other night, Andon Petty decides to dual route the fly ball. What's it like playing with the confidence of a player like Andon in center field? Lately, Landon Heil, the last couple of games, has been in right field. You locking down left field. If you go to right and Wade comes out, you guys move around. What's the confidence like for you guys in the outfield, no matter who's out there, where, and when and why? What's the confidence like beside those guys each and every game?
Oh, it's big. When that ball is hit, there was only a split second when I saw him flip his hips at one point. That's the only time I didn't think he caught it. But after that, I knew he caught it. As soon as I saw him go up, I was like, oh, he's got that.
And what's the trust between you guys? Anything in the gaps where you have a player like Andon and a player like yourself? Both of you guys can run well. We saw that in that home run trot or sprint, whatever that was. I can't call it a trot, but the speed racer effect around the bases. We know there's speed out there between you guys. How much does that play into who calls that, who takes over? Is Andon the captain out there at that point, or is it one of those he trusts you no matter what, and if you call it, he's gonna bow out and back you up? And how does that work with you and Andon? You guys seem to be beside each other a lot in most games.
Yes, sir. So we talk a lot, and we kind of discuss on like what balls, and I guess he's center field, so he has more priority, and he's been out there for 3 years on varsity, so he kind of has a little bit more role over me. So if he calls ball, it's you got it, go catch it.
And your confidence in him does it make it easier for you then?
Oh,
the confidence that,
yes,
hey,
sir, for sure.
when he calls it, I have full faith, and I'm just going to go back up because it's my job, but yet knowing that Andon's going to lock that.
Yes, sir.
Now we go to Eastview. One, as a player, you're at Georgetown. Eastview is the other Georgetown Independent School District school here. The Crosstown Classic, I love that it was named that this year, and you guys win it 2-0 head-to-head. How does that feel as a player for Georgetown? What's that rivalry like? You know these guys. You guys play ball all year round with different players from different schools. What's that like, though? Is it good bragging rights? Is that important to you guys, or is it, hey, any team, it's important to get that win?
I mean, any team's important to get that win, especially across town. So, I mean, that's always a good one to win. It keeps it. Came in here as a freshman, and that was, we don't lose to Eastview. We got to beat them. So that's what we did.
A little extra pride in that.
Yes.
In that win. Let's see. Let's go to the next. What do I have for you? I was so excited. The home run one, I couldn't wait to talk to you about it. It was amazing. Talk about Leander. It's a tough game. How do you guys? You're a senior, and you're one of the seniors on this team. And I'll use this to kind of wrap up. Tomorrow night we go to Rouse. An important game. Like Coach said, there are no more unimportant games. Every game is important from this point out. What's the mindset now of you seniors to lead this team to turn from a tough 2-1 loss against Leander and now go on the road to take on a tough Rouse team? What's the mindset now? Hey, we're done. Next 200 feet, let's concentrate and go. What are you seniors, what are you guys looking for as you get ready for tomorrow's game?
Yes, sir. So we had a team meeting, and we talked about it, and we have to learn from it, but you also have to forget it. You can't dwell on the past. The past is the past, and it's the next 200 feet. This game is the most important game, so you can't think about the past.
What is next for Ty Klaus-Keismore?
I'm going to Western Texas to play baseball. So.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
For those that don't know where Western Texas is, fill us in. Share it.
It's in a small town, Snyder,
Texas?
Yes, sir.
I'm aware of where it is.
Yes,
I saw some stairs out here. I was just making sure.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to continue baseball-wise there and your education.
Yes, sir.
Are you excited?
Yes, sir. I'm very excited to go do that. A good fit for me, so yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on that. Ty Klaus-Keismore, he wears number 3 on your Georgetown Eagles. We'll put him up again one more time on the line so we can see it. Average 333 this year, on-base percentage of 439, slugging percentage 470. Don't let that fool you. This dude can hit bombs. And so thanks for joining us tonight, Ty. Enjoyed it. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with one. It's either going to be Reese or Nolan. We're down to the last 2. Join us here on the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Back in one moment. Back here live, Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue in Georgetown, Texas, the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live here on SHN, and now we're joined by number 25, Reese Bell, the senior first baseman for your Georgetown Eagles. Got your picture online right there on YouTube.
Nice.
Now joining us live here in the barbecue banquet room. I don't know what you call it, but great host. We love being here at Pok-e-Jo's, super friendly and welcoming to all of us here, and so we appreciate them. Thanks to Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Reese, thanks for joining us tonight. You know, it's kind of funny you went second because, you know, what kind of tips do you have for a guy like Ty that wants to hit home runs like yourself?
Tips? No, I mean, I would say he's definitely like one of our power guys. So, I mean, you know, I'm joking. He's definitely, yeah. Nah, it's all about, you know, going out there, giving it your best swings, best, like, you know, attempt to being, like, the best teammate you can be when you get step in the batter's box. And, you know, sometimes naturally you just, you know, you get a hold of one, you kind of uppercut a little bit naturally, not, like, trying to or anything. But sometimes it just goes out, you know. Depends on, you know, field and whatnot. But, you know, you're never trying to because whenever you try to, it never happens. So
Glenn came in on that Saturday, and you step in the first inning, a couple of runners get on, a single by E.J. Davis, a single by Mazik, and then all of a sudden you let one loose down the left field line and just knock it out of the park. How does that feel starting a game like that? You had a big win on Friday night against Cedar Park. You guys turn around. I mean, admittedly, I think we're all tired at that point. Your parents are tired from chasing you around. The coaches are tired from having to keep an eye on you all the time. But you guys play this game in a fun baseball game on Friday night. Then you come out. How does that feel? First inning, you turn around and smash one out of the left field.
fantastic. I've been waiting to finally get one out at our home field for the last 2 years now, and as soon as I hit it, I was like, you know, I was trying to run, you know, like fairly hard, so it didn't look like I knew it was out, but as I hit it, you know, I was just kind of like, you know, that's probably gone, but I can't like act like, you know, because I've hit, you know, a good amount of home runs over the past 2 years at Georgetown, and never got one at home, and it was kind of like a back of my mind. I'm like, am I ever gonna get one home? I don't want to like feel like I've never got one at home, but as soon as I hit it, I mean, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat. I crushed the crap out of that, and I felt really good about it. So
now, what's the feeling like? You turn around the very next inning, you're on base, and then Ty hits his first. someone that's used to it, like you said, and admittedly, you're one of those guys that everyone sees as you typically are third or fourth in the lineup, fourth or fifth in that power slot in a baseball lineup, and known that can hit the ball hard and far. And then you get on, and you're on base, and Ty steps in and smashes his first home run. How did that feel being the teammate that got to greet him at home plate?
That was the best thing because I knew I was like running because I was like, okay, I gotta make like if it hits the wall, I gotta make sure like I get home fast enough. And then I just kept watching. And I was like, gosh, that's gonna go out. And as soon as I got home, I turned around and he's running, and I'm like, wow, hey, what's up? And I'm like, good job. I don't even think he said anything. He just ran back to the dugout. And I was like, okay, man, like I'll get your bat. And so
we were impressed that you were able to actually get home and take your helmet off in time because at the speed he was coming around. We weren't sure if you were just going to have to slap hands at that point because I didn't know if you get that helmet off.
It was great. It was really exciting. I was really happy for him. So
your senior year here at Georgetown, what's it been like? How long have you been at Georgetown, and what's this last few weeks bring to you in your thoughts as you round out your senior year?
Yeah, this is my second year. Started my junior year here. Just moved here. I've ever since I've got here, I loved it here. I really think I've met a lot of lifelong friends that I will forever keep in contact with, and it's been a great journey with a lot of good guys and good coaches that have been around. And these last few weeks of district, I try not to think about it like that. I try to think about it like this is our first week, or this is like tournaments. Like gotta go out there, do the same thing every time, compete. Try not to think about it as a big game, because as soon as you try to think about it like as it's a different type of game, you don't play the same. You got to play light. You got to play competitive. And but I'm excited. I know we got our last home game, our senior night, but I'm just gonna go try out and try to compete. So yeah.
I'm gonna go way back because we didn't get to talk to you after the Rouse game. You made a play at first base that was huge that we talked about. Coach and I talked about it. As we've gone through the year, a ball that's smashed down the first baseline that you filled, step on the bag, and then make the perfect throw to second base to get the double play turned.
I do remember that.
How does that feel for a first baseman?
Fantastic. I mean, I was greeted by everyone in the dugout. It was great. Yeah, because it was a really tight game. That's a team that you really have to. Compete hard, and they're a great team. And this year and last year they have really competitive players, and I played them on and off, summer, fall, whatever. Always some really good competitors, and it was a great play. It was good by Eli Hellman, shortstop, being there, make sure he's there, and it was just another play we needed to make to win that game. So,
and what's the confidence after that? You make a play in a game that's super tight. Some people would say, man, I was so nervous. And it was like it was just natural. You stepped on the bag, boom, you're talking, the throw is perfect, your teammate's coming off. I love the camera view that came out of the dugout of the smile. It almost was as big as Ty's when he came around second base.
Yes.
But coming in as the team greeted you, what's the confidence at that point for you? Is it, okay, man, we're going?
I mean, every time, we go 1, 2, 3 in an inning, or somebody makes a really good defensive play, we try to take that energy and put it in the offensive side of the ball, try to put some runs on the board. But in practice we work on that every time. We work on double plays during our showtime for the game. We do double plays like more than sometimes throws to first base, and it just kind of comes naturally, and that's just something that repetition is you just got to be able to do it and be ready to do it all the time. So.
The next couple of games, the big ones, we got senior night coming up on Tuesday night. That'll be a fun one to honor you guys. But like I asked Ty, what's it like now for you? The next few games, everything is important from this point out. As one of the senior leaders, what's the mindset? What's your mindset going forward? Straight confidence? I mean, where do you go from here as you help guide this team?
Just gotta work hard every day. Know that your brothers, your teammates got your back every out, every step of the way. Just play hard, because we know in our hearts that if we play our game, we're better than any team in the state of Texas, and we can do it. And we're gonna go out. We're gonna do our best in the next 3 games, and hopefully come out with district championship, and hopefully make some playoffs, and do well from there.
What's next for Reese Bell?
I committed to Arkansas Tech last fall. and I'm going to play baseball there, and I'm really excited to move on to the next chapter of my life, and something like Arkansas. It's a smaller town in Russellville,
Okay.
Arkansas, and I'm used to a more bigger town lifestyle. I've lived in various states, but usually the bigger cities of the states, so it's going to be a little different, but I'm really excited. I think it's going to make me find out who I really am and like what I really enjoy doing in my life. And I'm really excited to meet some new people, try some new things, go hunting. I don't go hunting very often, but I'm gonna have to try. So
There's not much else to do in Arkansas. So yeah, that should fit well. What made you choose somewhere like Arkansas?
I just felt like, I had a lot of coaches talk to me around Texas and some in California, and I just felt like for some reason going to somewhere as like to me absurd as Arkansas or like far from home just felt like something I needed to do, something that might help me later on in my life, knowing that I can do things on my own. And if I'm ever in in a place like that or something, I have friends all around. Like I didn't want to feel too comfortable going somewhere that I knew where to be, but I don't know, it just felt right. It just felt like new home.
Arkansas Tech. Congratulations on that.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome to see you continue on in your athletic and academic career. Reese Bell, number 25 in the Georgetown lineup. Thanks for joining us tonight, Reese.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll
Thank
be
you.
there with you. We'll take a quick break. Be back with Nolan Jondel here on the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. We'll be right back. Back here on SHN Sports, the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue in Georgetown, Texas. And now we're joined by number 12 in the roster on the uniform, Nolan Jondel. Are you a junior?
Yes.
Oh, man. You got him back? This is awesome. I thought he was a senior. I was like, man, another one gone. So we get another year. Man, I'm excited. I just learned this. I was like, Kelly messed up the slide, but he's right. Oh, man. There's Nolan Jondel live and in person. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Nolan, man, I was talking to your parents before. I'm so excited. I texted Coach quickly that you were one of the ones I wanted to talk to. A game like Marble Falls, you come in off of out of the bullpen. You warmed up for a couple of innings. And then finally come into the bullpen, and you throw 3 1/3 innings. Hitless ball, strikeout 4, in a game where you guys had to fight from behind.
Mm-hmm.
You come in and lights out. Logan pitched before. It didn't have a bad game, but pitches at the right time and swings by Bryce Atkinson. He played well that night, the pitcher, and he hit well for Marble Falls, creating havoc early on with his base hit, and then the catcher, or the designated hitter, had the double. You come in that point in the game. What's your confidence like? Coach says, here's the baseball. Lead us.
Yeah. So, I mean, we obviously have a really good defense. A lot of those guys are everybody can trust. And so I have full confidence that, I can throw anything. And if it gets hit to one of them, I trust that they're going to make the play. And, that's what happened.
I was looking through the stats as we went through, and let me get to them. 13 innings pitched, five appearances now. You've only started one. You come out of the bullpen. You like coming out of the bullpen? Is that something you're accustomed to and you're confident in, or?
It's new for me. I'm used to pretty much always, when I go out and pitch, always starting. I do that in summer ball. I did that for freshman JV. But I mean, that was my role this year, and I have to adjust to it. And I think it's a new challenge, but I can get used to it, and I feel good about it.
Are you confident in it? You coming out of the bullpen like you did against Marble Falls? It appears that if you look at the stats after it, you were very confident in it. You came out and threw 3 1/3 innings, no hit ball against a team that I think we would be remiss if we didn't say we all thought, oh man, we should beat Marble Falls. They're not a very good team. But then they come out and put up 3 in the first inning. It's like, wait a sec, we're down 3-0 to Marble Falls. This is not normal for Marble Falls. They're struggling, but they have some athletes and they can beat anyone any night. They did that against Marble Falls, against Leander. But then you come in out of the bullpen and the confidence that you showed on the mound. How do you feel like that flips over to your teammates on the offensive side? You're going in and shutting things down defensively. What does that do for your team offensively?
I think it gives us an opportunity to keep them where they're at, stop them, and then give us time to just keep hitting and getting on base and walking and whatever, producing runs and keep guys on base, and eventually we'll just break it and most of the time run away with it, but sometimes it's a little closer. But either way, I mean, I think it just stops them and gives us time to do what we do.
You came in and threw 3 1/3 innings, 49 pitches. Come the 7th inning, Coach says, all right, Scott, go close it out. Mm-hmm. Your confidence level at that point, you're throwing well. You pitched 3 1/3 innings of no-hit baseball, and you hand the ball off to Scott. What's your confidence in your other pitching staff that he's going to go in and close it down knowing you've had a good night?
Yeah, I mean, I fully respect that, and Scott's done great all year. He's closed the door, and he's done great. I trust him, and I think everybody else does too. So I'm fully confident in him. I'm fully confident whoever goes out and pitches. It's their game now.
What does a performance like Marble Falls for you do for the rest of the year for you? Does that build your confidence that you came in, Coach said, hey, the game's yours, hit it and get it, let's go. And now, hey, I know I'm confident that I can come out of the bullpen at any point and make a difference in this ballgame?
Yeah, I'm much more, at the beginning of the season, it wasn't how I wanted to start it. And then slowly got more comfortable with adjusting to pitching again and pitching on this, like, a new level. But yeah, no, I have a lot more confidence now in myself. So it was good to get that back.
Is it a different mindset from starting to coming in relief? Is it one of those, because it's the unknown? Hey, who's going to the bullpen? You go to the bullpen. Or is it no matter what, your mindset's the same? I'm going to go through my warm-ups, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to deal.
I mean, yeah, I think I just stay in my routine, and whatever my routine is, I just have to make sure I do that and be ready for it. I trust my routine, and I trust what I do is going to set me up for success in the game. So as long as I'm in my routine, I think I'm okay.
How does it feel knowing you have a coach that puts that confidence in you, that has that trust in you, that says, hey, we're in this ball game. It's a tight ball game. Hit the bullpen, warm up. I need you.
It means a lot. He could have gone to a lot of people, and he chose me, so it means a lot. I think that also put a lot of confidence in me to go out there, and the fact that he trusts me and he trusts me with this game, big game. It means a lot. Like I have this game, and I have to to help us stop them and move on.
And I'd say you did that. Dan, it was so fun to watch that. 3 1/3 innings, no hit. And I just pulled my earpiece out. I apologize. 3 1/3 innings, no hit baseball, striking out 4 batters. As a junior on this team, there's 15 seniors. It's a heavy laden team. You getting the experience as a junior this year, how does that prepare you for next year as a senior that'll come in as one of the leaders?
I think it's huge. I have a lot of seniors ahead of me, and it's great to learn from them and learn what they do. They're all really good, all really talented. So it's great to pick up things that they do, things that I like that they do, and if it works for me, to try to implement it into my stuff. So I mean, it's great to have them. It's great to learn from them and get that knowledge that they might have being there for a year more than I have, and picking up on some of that and using it. So it's great. I think it'll be great.
You look forward to the challenge as a senior next year as one of the leaders. You'll come in, not a lot of youth on this team with experience. You, Eli, Riley Leininger, one of the underclassmen, just a few of you that will be the senior leaders next year. Is that a challenge you look forward to?
I do. I'm not a very loud person, as a lot of my teammates could tell you, but I think I'll enjoy trying to be put in this new situation of leading and really kind of being a leader and helping people along.
What's next? You have one more year at Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
Are your plans to try to play baseball after high school?
Yes. I'm trying to go somewhere just best fit for me.
You're going to play in the summer, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you play summer ball?
Action.
Action baseball.
Yes.
So another year of action baseball. Mom and Dad keep working to pay for that. I've had 2 boys go through baseball, so I totally understand. What do you look forward to the most in your senior year then?
I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to see the new team that we have coming through. Some of those JV guys right now are really solid, and some of our juniors right now are really talented. So I'm excited for next year. I think we're gonna be a solid team, and I'm have fun.
What about the rest of this year? What's your thoughts? As one of the juniors, as one of the underclassmen, as you see it into a new stretch of baseball, as we finish district, as we head to the playoffs, what's a challenge that you're going to be faced with now? Preparing yourself and trusting in your senior leadership and trusting in the coaches, or where does Nolan look to challenge himself as we finish out the year here?
Yeah, I mean, whatever role I'm put into, I'm going to do my best at that. Whether that's coming out of the bullpen, whether that's just being a good teammate on the bench. I'm gonna own that and do my best I can at it. So I mean, whatever role I'm put into, I'm going to just do my best at it.
Nolan Jondel, number 12 on the Eagle baseball team. Put his picture back up. Thanks for joining us, Nolan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll take one quick break. We'll come back, finish up with Coach Piero here on the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live from Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. Stay with us. Back here live at Pok-e-Jo's Barbecue. The Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live here on SHN. Thanks again to Pok-e-Jo's for their hospitality and welcoming us and allowing us to use their facilities here for the Coaches Show. Coach Jordan Vieira joins us one last time so we can close it out and get these kids home to bed. I'm sure they're going right to bed for the game to be prepared tomorrow. Right, Ty? Yeah, Reese? Yeah. All right, good job, boys.
Trying to make happen.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, good luck with that.
No more Dr. Pepper. I gotta say, Ty drinks more Dr. Pepper than anybody on our team except for Coach Payne. Coach Payne shows up with his 74-ounce jug of Dr. Pepper every morning, and then Ty challenges him to a chug off at the end of every day. So I don't know who does more.
I gave up on Dr. Pepper back in 2006. I had a car wreck on duty, and it bust all over my lap, and I was so bummed. I could never go back to Dr. Pepper. So I'm a Coke Zero fan now. So, but yeah, Dr. Pepper, yeah, we own stock in that, it seems like, with all my kids. That's all they ever drank, still drink to this day. So I understand that. Yeah, switch to water. Make sure you hydrate for tomorrow. It's going to be a warm evening live from Rouse High School. Coach,
Yeah.
man, talking to these kids, and I got to be honest, I'm excited. I thought Nolan was another senior. It's like, good night. This is crazy. But 6 juniors and a sophomore that'll come back next year. The senior team, the senior class here has done a great job of building the camaraderie that we watch, that we get to watch and enjoy. What does it do for you now as you watch this senior class as we come through the end of district and look forward to the playoffs as a coach that has to turn now and start preparing for the next season?
Yeah, so for us, this senior group has been a really fun group. It's been fun to watch some of the new guys that have moved in halfway through their high school journey, mold in with the guys who have been around Georgetown for the majority of their life, and to see how those guys have bought into the things that we preach here at Georgetown has been really cool to be a part of. As far as the guys we got coming back next year, we have the opportunity to work with those guys all fall. And then the majority of the spring too, with the way that we're able to have our practices come together and have the older guys build in the younger guys is something that we're able to do quite a bit. And it's one thing that we talk about with the older guys too is it's their job to make sure that the legacy that they leave behind is one of building into the younger guys that are going to come up behind them. And it's the tradition of the G that we talk about, right? Like it's the thing that means a lot to everybody is to get to wear the G. The pride that comes along with that is making sure that the underclassmen that are coming up underneath you understand what it means to be a Georgetown High School baseball player. And so these seniors and juniors have continued to build into those younger guys. And we're excited about what we've got coming up next year. Not ready for this year to end by any stretch. Excited to see what happens over the next few days. And like you're saying, man, these guys that we have, it's really cool to show up and hear them talk and to somebody other than me and Coach Payne or their parents, and to hear them talk about the way that they're processing the game and what they have going on. So it's a really interesting thing to be a part of.
A coaching challenge that popped in my head that I had a question for. Talking to Nolan, playing year-round baseball for these kids is such a big thing now, and it has been for the last few years. But seeing these kids that come in that play club ball and through the summers and then come in for school ball, knowing you have a pitcher like Nolan that in his club ball and in freshman and sophomore years was a starter, but then can flip the role, and when you need him to be a reliever out of the bullpen to come in. What's the challenge as a coach? It's kind of a two-part question. What's the challenge as you go through and select your starters, knowing probably all of these kids start at some point in their baseball career as pitchers, but yet to trust that they can make that adaptation like Nolan does, and you see Wade Denton do it. We see him do that, and Nick Silva's done it. And to see these kids that can come in out of the bullpen when it may be the norm to start year-round, then they come, and it's important for this team. What's that challenge, one, to make sure you keep them in a space, a place of comfort, but yet challenge them to be that 100% team player that you may need them in the bullpen to trust hey, trust me, when I need you, it's going to be important.
Right. So for us, it's to answer both questions. Number one is as they're coming up through the freshman sophomore team, the freshman JV team, we try and get those guys starts. We try and get them middle relief appearances. We try and get them back in experience and try and rotate them through there so that they get comfortable as a freshman doing it. They might start a game and figure out what that routine's like. Or they may be the bridge guy like Nolan was the other night out in Morrill Falls, or they may get a chance to be the back end guy. And so they get experience at all three of those spots. At the sub-varsity levels, and by the time they get to us, we have an opportunity to either make them into a starter or a guy that can start games, or a guy that can come in and blow it out for one inning. And then it just kind of from there turns into it doesn't matter if you're starting or if you're in relief. There's a routine for you to go out and accomplish. There's a job for you to do, and that job is to attack the strike zone with every pitch. And for us, it's not something that we put a ton of emphasis on of, hey, you're a starter, so we expect you to be able to throw 80 pitches, or you're a middle relief guy, so we only need you to be able to throw 30, and you're only going to throw out of the stretch. It's more of the job is to get on the mound, is to execute each pitch, is to attack the strike zone with every pitch. And our guys have done a really good job of that. And you hear Nolan is the mindset is, I'm going to get in my routine. I'm going to accomplish my routine. Once my routine's accomplished, then I get on the mound and I go compete. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters is can you toe the rubber and can you attack the strike zone?
You have a lot of arms available to you. We've seen Ty come in against Rouse and throw one inning at the end. Totally different look that you saw from Wade, who Wade may come in and throw 3 or 4 innings or 2 innings or 1 inning at the end.
Or 7.
But then against Rouse and comes in and throws a complete game, almost a complete game in the middle of a game. And how comforting is that as a coach, knowing that you have a pitcher like Nolan that could come in and throw 3 1/3 innings, or he can come in and throw 1, and Scott Beam can come in and close out that one, and Ty comes in and closes out this one, and Wade comes in and closes out this one. But knowing you have those arms at your availability, and it can always be someone different, but it can always be the same guy if it need be.
Right. What's been really cool is and Coach Payne and I were talking about this at the beginning of the year, is we were kind of looking at the roster and seeing how everything's going to match out is the depth of pitching that we're able to have. And you're able to have guys that can start. We have some guys that can come in and throw in relief. We have guys that can do both. We have guys that can close. And it's been a testament to these guys really buying into not just their roles, but buying into that there's just a routine and a process, right? And it doesn't matter if you're the starter. It doesn't matter if you're the reliever. It's just attacking the strike zone. Coach Payne has done a great job of getting these guys set up for success and putting them in a position to where they're ready to go compete when it's their time to do so, and setting up our rotation in a way that allows us to be able to be in a position to have success, and set up our bullpen in a way that we can roll from one guy to the next. And if we need to extend the guy because he's rolling and we can let him, we can do that, and we don't have to overextend guys. I believe the most pitches that we've had a guy throw so far has been 90, and that was Nick on Tuesday. And it just happened to be one of those situations where he was cruising and looked up, and it was the 6th inning, and it was like it's past the ball. And so it's really comforting to see that these guys are still their pitch counts are still relatively low. Their innings are starting to increase a little bit more, but the depth of pitching that we have has our arms fresh moving into the last 3 games of district and then heading into the playoffs after that.
And that's where I was going to ask next is coming into the playoffs when you have to go play 2 out of 3 in 2 or 3 days. How important is that to have a large bullpen available and a fresh bullpen?
No.
That's going to pay big dividends.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't win the playoffs without pitching, right? And so that's one thing that we're always trying to develop is a pitching staff. There's a lot of places out there that they just try and go develop a couple of starters and a couple of relievers and hope that gets you through district. And that's not something we've ever done. It's just we want to develop a pitching staff. A group of guys that we can hand the ball off to a couple guys that can start. We can hand it off to a couple guys that can come in the back end and get it done there. So it's been really cool to watch these guys be able to continue to do that. And I think that it puts us in a good place heading into the playoffs that we got a group of guys that'll be able to fill in those different roles if we run into a 3-game set.
Tomorrow night, a big one, the next big game in the line. Like you said, they're all important from this point out. We have Rouse tomorrow night. We'll be at Rouse High School, 6:45 pregame, for 7 o'clock first pitch. You guys will be there a lot earlier to go through the routine, and then we turn around Saturday at Cedar Ridge. Just one game at Cedar Ridge on
Just
Saturday.
the one.
We'd love to see that.
God, I hope it's just one.
Cedar Ridge at 1 o'clock on Saturday, live on SHN, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock, first pitch there. Thanks for joining us tonight live here from Pok-e-Jo's. Man, we can't say enough. They've been so friendly and kind to us.
Yeah, they've been awesome.
Super great host to allow us to be here. Thanks tonight for Braylon Pinnell to join us. It was awesome to see her here, man. Continue to do good things. The Georgetown ladies softball team is currently sitting, I believe, in second place in district, headed to the playoffs as well. And so they'll prepare for that as Pinnell continues to hit tanks for the softball team. I talked to your parents before, but Braylon, don't blush. I've been trying to keep up through Twitter and everything, but
I believe her saying when she gets in the box is just swing hard in case you hit it. And she does that well.
Oh, that's awesome. But it's so
Go
fun.
Hutch.
It's so fun to see the programs here at Georgetown. Man, the track team doing well and seeing all these athletes just continue to thrive and with the pride that they wear the G logo.
Yeah, it's a special place. We're thankful.
Thank you to Nolan, to Ty, Klaus Keismore, to make sure we say that correctly one more time. Hey, Nolan, did I get it right? Is it Jondel? Okay, I'm probably screwing it up. Y'all are just going to be nice and not tell me. And then Reese Bell, thank you for having an easy name. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I love talking to you guys, and look forward to seeing you guys out on the field tomorrow. Join us live on SHN. If you can't be there, if you can, come over to Leander Rouse. Let's put on a good crowd and cheer on these boys as they continue to fight through the remainder of district play. Thanks to Coach Jordan Vieira for joining us tonight.
Thanks, boy.
Georgetown Eagle Nation Baseball Coaches Show will be back here live next week on Thursday night. Pok-e-Jo's. Join us here if you can. If not, join us online at shnsports.com. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good night, everybody.